Hello my awesome Matadors, my name is Madog and welcome back to another video of what if Fnaf collaborated with other food conglomerates or venues. So last time we actually did Hungry Jack's collaborating with Five Nights at Candy's, which is a very interesting mix in my opinion that I came up with years ago. Now up for the next and also fourth iconic area. Yeah, you see what I'm doing with this here? I'm actually went to McDonald's, KFC, Hungry Jack's, and now we're up to another very famous food conglomerate that a lot of people will know and love. And trust me when I tell you, this is going to make your wings flap. Because this time, we're going to be going straight in to Red Rooster. Now, Red Rooster is kind of a bit different when it comes to KFC. When it comes to KFC, they pretty much have more Kentucky Fried Chicken rather than always having to do just the regular kind of smooth grilled like kind of chicken that they usually do. That is Red Rooster's job. Red Rooster doesn't really do as much fried chicken as they do. They do fried chicken, but not as much as they do with KFC though. That's KFC's job. Having that nice smooth and just grilled like kind of chicken that you just like to have, almost kind of like it's like a turkey dinner of some sorts. But don't get me wrong, Red Rooster has actually done pretty good for their years as well as a fast food conglomerate over the years. And pretty much, they're still pretty much going strong, just like KFC when you think about it. So yeah, not that bad of a food conglomerate, and pretty much like to be fair, in truth, just personal story here that me and my family kind of still go mostly with Red Rooster every time if we don't have any chances of having anything to eat at home or something like that on the lines. We kind of still pretty much do that. So it's funny how we usually pick Red Rooster more than we do with KFC, and that's only just because that we don't usually try. Not just because it's not because we don't like KFC, but it's pretty much because it's pretty much the most closest area that we could probably get food if we have no other food options to really have. So in terms of collaborating with any of the Fnaf franchise in particular, there was only one particular sort of area or party, shall I say, when it comes to, well, collaborating with Red Rooster. Yep, I'm talking about the one and only Chica's Party World. Now, here's a funny story actually. Before you get way too excited about this, I am talking about Chica's Party World specifically, but this was my original idea. First off, this was technically my original idea when I came up with this idea years ago. When I was talking about Chica's Party World specifically long ago when I wrote this down, I was literally just talking about like every single Chica model in existence of FNAF to literally just be their mascot. Yeah, that's it. That's literally how I freaking did it. Literally, all of them. FNAF 1 Chica, Toy Chica, Withered Chica, Fainted Chica, Funtime Chica, Rockstar Chica, Glamour Chica. Any of those Chicas involved could just easily be, like, the mascot. Just all of them. And probably, if anything, they could probably have a rooster mascot while they are at it. I mean, it's called Red Rooster for a reason. You might as well have, like, their own rooster mascot. It's called Red Rooster for a reason. But we're not going to do that anymore because guess what? Thanks to Secret of the Mimic, one specific lore indicated about one particular character that was going to have its own spin-off location. And that, of course, was Chica the Chicken herself. So yes, we are doing a Chica's Party World, but not the Chica's Party World that I just originally stated. And we're only going to be sticking to one Chica, and that of course is the mascot Chica from Secret of the Mimic. Ever since when I actually saw the mascot version of Chica, like the Mimic just riding on roller skates trying to literally imitate Chica as this character on roller skates, and then this just made me thought to myself, wait a second, this might actually work. This might actually work. You hear that Chica's music world in the background playing while she's dancing on roller skates, all that sort of stuff. And it's like, to me, bro, this is perfect. Like, how come no one has ever thought of this yet? just having the mascot Chica alone, along with probably also with the other little mini food mascots in particular, like the cupcake on wheels, for example, along with like the burger on wheels, the chips with wheels, and also whatever, and the pizza with wheels as well, which pretty much all indicates that it basically is like a roller skating kind of party, which, to be fair, I'm not quite sure if they actually are going to probably do something like that if it were to happen. But that would be cool if they would actually be able to put, like, you know, a Chica's Party World and also like a roller skating party or something like that along the lines. It's weird, I know, but like, it just feels right, you know? Yeah, feels right. So literally just having, you know, the mascot Chica along with the food on roller skates is pretty much the only best fitting idea that I could think of for Red Rooster. And if anything, you could probably eat Red Rooster themselves, not saying that they literally should, but if they actually were to actually come up with their own mascot, like their own wearable mascot suit as an actual rooster, that would actually be quite fitting, actually, to be fair. And I feel like that would be a good way to actually represent Red Rooster themselves whilst in the collaboration of, well, Chica's Party World in Secret of the Mimic. Even along with the music that I'm playing at the background, which is the Chica's Party World music, also still pretty much sounds really good to this very day. You can use that as radio music even regardless, because like it really does bring out those 90s, 1970s vibes. That's what I'm really getting at, and that feels like so much suitable than just having to do regular, you know, FNAF ideas that they have done over the years. But this was like the top of the icing of a cake. But when it comes to food specifically, what kind of food would you actually expect doing? Well, Red Rooster has done a lot over the years when it comes to new specific food, like, you know, the popcorn food bites, for example. And that's just only the top of the iceberg there. They have managed to do some, of course, burgers, wraps, chips, grilled chicken. I mean, to be fair, I'm not that quite sure if I can actually be able to name any good ones for this. The only one that I can actually specifically think of alone, if there was any chances of doing it, if they actually do make pizzas of their own. I mean, I was gonna go for like the pineapple idea on the burgers again, which, you know, since I pretty much did this again for like so many other characters, specifically like, well, you know, McDonald's or even, you know, KFC, for example. But even then, just because, like, you know, Chica is a yellow chicken after all, which pretty much explains and makes a lot of sense, doesn't really actually work out well. Well, sort of, but it doesn't really actually fit in the vibes. But there is a vibe that I actually kind of thought of just now into my head while also making this recording. The idea of also using chicken salt. And trust me when I tell you, chicken salt pretty much goes with anything. And chicken salt, in reality, it's just basically just, well, kind of like onion. That's basically what it is. But when you actually put it on chips, or even if you want to try putting chicken salt specifically on a chicken burger to get that flavor, I could definitely see that happening, if I'm being completely honest with this. I don't know what would happen if you actually put chicken salt on pizza. Would be good, but maybe a bit too salty on that part. Of course, we can't forget about the cupcakes as well. The cupcake is going to be a very specific dessert that a lot of people will probably go for. And yes, you're right. Going for a cupcake dessert would also very fit the need of having a dessert as well. Apart from just having just regular milkshakes. You could probably even go like, you know, a strawberry or raspberry like flavored milkshake. Flavored strawberry flavored or raspberry flavored icing on a cupcake, for example. Or having like a flavored cheesecake, or even a, you know, when it comes to either just strawberry or raspberry. Again, same exact thing. Very simple, but yet very effective ways on how to actually promote, not just for Red Rooster, but also promoting the world of Five Nights at Freddy's, but using this one and only mascot of a chicken right here, along with its little food buddies. Now, of course, it's just for a little extra something. If you could also think of, like, you know, pink, you know, radish sauce or something like that. And no, I'm not talking about the pink sauce thing or something like that. And if you also want to go for like something like more pink as well, which again goes for like the beetroot idea, like I mentioned a few episodes a while back, which could also be a really good idea as well, because it also does bring out the little bit of sweet, tangy flavor to a burger or anything like that along the lines. To be fair, this was actually very shorter than I think than the others have been right now, which is actually quite surprising. But, you know, to be very fair, I guess that's sometimes the case, because when it comes to using food collaborations with other places, it can be a little bit difficult to figure out what you actually want to do it and how you want to actually go about with it. But in all fairness, when it comes to Red Rooster, Chica's Party World from Secret of the Mimic is probably one of the, if not probably the best collaborations for like a FNAF food collaboration for that particular thing. Not that I'm saying, of course, that it will happen, but it's always fun to just think about these kinds of ideas, as I have been doing throughout these last few videos. So anyways, that's the end of that for today. So what do you guys think about this? Do you think that Chica's Party World from Secret of the Mirror might actually just be the best one yet for when it comes to a place like to collab with Red Rooster? Or do you think you might have a bit of a different idea, and maybe perhaps you prefer the original concept, that idea with having all the Chicas, literally every single Chica model from the previous games, and literally just add them in all as mascots into Red Rooster? I don't know. Your choice, I guess. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this episode. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. We still got a few more to go, actually. So don't think that this is the end of this series just yet, because trust me when I tell you, there's still a little bit more to actually go through. So again, thank you guys so much for watching this episode. And as always, my name is Mad Dog. Stay safe, stay healthy. May your days be mad and rad.